Hi, this is Corncod One of Nationalist News and Notes. The title of my little screed today is a look at the Carlson-Putin interview. Tucker Carlson, one of the most influential commentators and journalists of our time, took a bit of a risk in interviewing Russian President Vladimir Putin. Threats from the far left and the person of the bottom of the broomless witch, Hillary Clinton, and from her collaborators in the repulsive neocons like Bill Kristol, warned Carlson that he would be sanctioned by governments and even barred from the U.S. But luckily, Carlson ignored these threats and went ahead. The interview was a rather good one. Putin is one of the more intelligent world leaders. You could tell he made sure he knew everything about Mr. Carlson, including the fact that his bachelor's was in history, and that as a young man he unsuccessfully applied for a job in the CIA. This proves that the Russian leader is a cautious and deliberate man. In some of the immediate follow-up on the interview by some commentators, I was surprised that otherwise intelligent folks didn't know about the long-term historical dislike of Russians for Poland and vice versa. Anyone who comments seriously on Eastern European politics should know this. It isn't rocket science to know that Poles and Russians are like oil and water. I'm glad that many Americans, perhaps for the first time, were able to hear from Mr. Putin about the reckless NATO expansion over the last 30 years that has soured U.S.-Russian relations. These concerns are legitimate. Also, the Germans and French playing their games with the Minsk agreements and Boris Johnson's last-minute scuttling of the proposed Istanbul Accords were certainly worth mentioning, as they're forbidden subjects in the mainstream media. Putin was lively, intelligent, and tough, which is contrary to CIA Ukrainian propaganda that he is near death of numerous diseases. Kudos to Tucker Carlson for taking a chance on an impulsive trip to Russia in the hopes that he could interview the de facto czar of all the Russias. It has earned him a place, unfortunately, on the Ukrainian terrorist kill list. I have to add his name to my prayers, but they would be very foolish to attempt to harm a hair on the head of Mr. Carlson. If they harmed him in any way, I think a lot more Republicans would line up against Ukrainian funding. I don't think they fully understand the American people. This is Corncod One of Nationalist News and Notes, signing off.